Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us on Facebook Live for the Scale Up 2019 information session. We are going to jump right in. I know everyone's schedules are busy. We have some folks here that are ready to get started and learn about Scale Up, so we're going to jump right into it. We're going to skip right to our introductions of our instructors. And Damien, if you want to go ahead and go first.
All right. Thank you, Taliba. Hey, everyone. My name is Damian Carson, and I'm so excited to be here with you. I will be one of your instructors throughout the next 8 weeks, and I'm excited for what we've put together for Scale Up and looking forward to actually helping you all actually scale up.
All right, awesome. And everyone, my name is Taliba Bales, and I'm the founder and CEO of TNB Tax and Financial Services. Scale Up is going to be hosted and one of TNB Tax and Financial Services services that we offer. And so I am excited to present Scale Up 2019 to our Birmingham CEOs. All right, Damien.
Awesome. So why Scale Up? We did a little research and was somewhat surprised that 80% of businesses make it to the second year, that 70% of businesses make it to the third year. However, only 60% of those businesses survive past the third year. And we wanted to come together and present a program that's going to be helpful for not only the businesses that's 3 years or more in the city of Birmingham, but all across the nation. Then there's also been one study that's been reported that if 1 in 3 micro businesses hired one person, that would alleviate the unemployment rate. And so the question for you all tonight to ask yourself is, are you ready to scale up?
All right. And if you're ready to scale up, please put a yes in the comments. If you're not sure, go ahead and put not sure, but put yes or not sure and put that in the comments and the name of your business. All right, so what is Scale Up? As Damien referenced, this is an 8-week session. And it's hosted by TNB Tax and Financial Services. And the biggest thing that we want you to learn this evening is that we consider this a session where you will leave with real tools, tangible tools that you can walk away with immediately that you will need to scale up your business. I want you to consider this session like a 2.0, and you'll hear me say 2.0 virtually everywhere I talk about Scale Up, because this is for those who are, perhaps graduates of other workshops that you may have attended, or you have been in operation for at least 3 years. So you have the data, you have the experience, you have the successes, and you have the failures. And so that 2.0 version is really wrapping that all in together. And again, leaving with some immediate tools that you can take away and run your business. And so this program will allow you to basically execute major decisions in each of these areas. We're going to give you some intentional strategy customized for your business. We're going to talk about the financial capacity and compliance of your business. And if that's not where you would like for it to be, we're going to get you where you need to be. And also, we're going to teach you how to execute everything you're going to learn flawlessly and intentionally. Okay. So this is, in summary, what Scale Up is. We're going to go more into the details on our next slide.
Awesome. So the modules, and we wanted to make sure you all had an understanding or introduction to what that's going to look like. But the first one is business plan review. There's several different templates and workbooks and things of that nature that's out there. But we're not only wanting to do a business plan review, but to also actually complete that business plan. One of the things you'll often hear us say is that a business plan is a living document. And oftentimes when we look at those numbers that we talked about earlier, that only 60% make it past the third year, is that they become stagnant. And so we don't want to have that as a result of you all who are going to be participating with us. Module 2, we're going to be determining business operational strategy. Here, we're going to take a deep dive in setting some clear goals, as well as creating some objectives so you can have at least a 3-year strategic plan that definitely get you into the 6-year mark there as it relates to operating your business. Module 3 and 4, this is really where the rubber hits the road, and we wanted to make sure we spent ample time here going over the financial roadmap, which is going to include financial statements. So not only are we going to show you how to read a financial statement, but we're going to actually show you how to produce a financial statement. Hopefully you're already set up on some type of accounting system, if you will, but if not, we want to make sure you have that information as well, and those tangible tools that Taliba mentioned earlier. Next, we're going to look at the sales forecasting. Those are some other pain points, if you will, that we've been able to notify or pick up on over the last, I would say, 30 years of doing this, combined with Taliba and myself and others that's going to be participating with us. And then also cash flow, being able to understand what's the cash flow of your particular business, so you can understand what's going on from a day-to-day basis. And then last but not least, taking a look at a break-even analysis. A lot of businesses I know out making sales, but at the end of the day, are you charging enough? And that's one key piece that we're going to take a look at to make sure you're in position to scale up. Moving on to module 5, we're going to take a look at building personal and business credit. All right, so not just your personal credit, but also business, and why that's important to go ahead and establish that now. And then we also going to come up with some credit and financing strategies in case we may have someone who may not have credit or low credit or whatever the case may be. So we're going to make sure we get you in the right place. Module 6, accomplishing tax compliancy. We want to make sure that you're tax compliant. That's one of the key areas where those businesses don't succeed going into the 3rd year. And so there's some strategy there around making sure you stay up to date and that you can execute flawlessly. So we're going to take a look at the state, county, as well as the city of Birmingham, where we're going to focus on. But if you have questions from other states and cities and counties, we can definitely help you with that process as well. And then lastly, we're going to do module 7 and 8 here for obtaining small business certifications. I know that's something many of you probably heard about, but not quite sure on what's the next step or how do I do it and what's needed. So we're going to make sure we give you that information. If you need assistance completing the forms, do that, as well as producing the reports that's needed to make sure that you can become a certified business. And then also small business financing. That's a piece where somewhere down the road, if you're not there now, that you're going to take a look at, maybe having to take on some type of financing in order to scale up. And so those are the modules that we're going to be covering over the next 8 weeks, or whenever we kick this off, and you hear more about that here shortly. And over to you, Taliba.
All right. Thank you, Damien. Now, what I wanted to add to these slides, which I believe Scale Up, it makes it so unique, is that we're actually going to be bringing in other experts. So you're going to have a team of folks on your team that are experts in each of these areas, in addition to Damien and myself, particularly for module 7 and 8. When we're talking about small business certification, we're going to have folks from the Birmingham community who actually certify folks, who actually review all of the information, and they'll be sort of your inside scoop on that process and be able to tell you some of the pitfalls and the successes in small businesses applying for certification. And I would say the same thing for from the small business financing community is that we also have some great ties with some local financing institutions here in Birmingham, that can also come in and present on how their organization has helped small businesses get financed and share some of their expert guidance with you. So these modules are just jam-packed full of those real tools that we know that you need just from our experience in working in the small business community here. And we're really excited to present these to you. One of the things that I wanted to jump in at this point, we're calling it our interactive session. And we realize for the live folks and those folks who will review us in the replay that it's not going to have the same effect. But I just want to call everyone's attention to some of the small business pain points that we talked about in some of our previous posts here on Facebook and other social media outlets. And so we're inviting those people here tonight. We've just sent them a link and they're going to be filling out a survey that talked about these small business pain points. And while they're doing that, for those that are live or listening to us, let's do our own kind of ad lib here. So if you look at some of our previous posts, we brought up sort of the top 10 common small business pain points. For tonight, we'll just talk about the top 5, okay? And these pain points are very important because we've centered our curriculum around solving these for you, okay? Like if you don't get anything from tonight and those of you on live from this video is that you're gonna walk away with some answers. Not just a lot of information or fluff, like we're going to give you the answer. So the number one small business pain point that we've heard over the years is we don't have enough money, right? And so if that pertains to you, just in your mind, think about, why that could be the case, or if you've tried, a previous workshop, or if you have tried to actually walk into a bank and obtain financing and you were denied, think about that pain point. Is that pain point real for you? What about number 2, which is we are not able to get new customers? Well, we're going to talk about, your current customers, your ideal customers, and why, what is in your business's infrastructure that is perhaps hindering you from getting new customers. The number 3, we have been denied for small business financing. As I said before, in our community, that is a common occurrence, and we want to provide some solutions to that. And it could be, as you can see in Module 5, where we're talking about building personal credit and building business credit. It could be that right now your personal credit is not where it should be, where you can get financed. Okay, that's a reality for a lot of us self-employed, business owners, is that we take the hit in our personal credit because we're trying to finance our business. So we understand that, and that's why we dedicated a module, to talking about those real instances where, your personal credit may not be where it should be. And so we talk about business credit, what that is and where it should be. And like I said, give you the tools to where if you have been denied, you can use those points that you may have been denied on and build some goals to definitely make your next experience more positive. Number 4, we're not able to keep existing customers. So that's the same as number 2, you know what I mean? And when we're looking at sales forecasting, when we're looking at module 2 for our business operational strategy, goals, and objectives, those are some of the things we're going to talk about. Is your infrastructure fortified enough so that you can not only keep your existing customers, but onboard new customers? And that may be your marketing, that may be, the softwares that you're using. It could be a myriad of things. And the last one, our revenues are too low. So what's left over after your expenses? And that is the power of modules 3 and 4. Okay, we have here that we're talking about financial statements and sales forecasting. But what we're also going to do is we're going to look at your data and we're going to look at your expenses, your income. Is it possible that you can cut on your expenses? Is it possible that you can develop a planning strategy, a saving strategy where you're becoming leaner, in your expenses? Yes, it is possible. And those are some of the things that we're going to talk about. So we're going to give folks here another 1 second to finish that survey before we go to the next slide. All right, cool. Okay, Daniel, you can go ahead.
All right. So here, as we get ready to close, and one of the key questions that I've been asked quite a few times, and I'm sure you're anticipating what that looks like. So let's jump right in. So first of all, Scale Up is valued at over $1,000, and I'm glad to let you know that we have some individuals who want to help support um, the business growth, especially here in the Birmingham area, and I would say even across the nation. And what we've decided to do is reduce that cost to almost half, which is going to be at $650. And that also includes a $25 application fee that is waived. That's a part of that $650. And then also we have payment plans available. So feel free. I'm not sure, Taliba, if that's what you want to cover a little bit here in a second, as far as what those plans look like, or we can give you some information as far as how to reach out to us, so we can go over those payment plans with you, and hopefully you see, and I'm pretty sure you will, if you do join us, the value with that.
Okay, yeah, I could go ahead and talk about that now, because that actually is one of the questions that we have here. And that is like, what do the payment plans look like? Now, of course, we want that to be as flexible to you as possible. So, that could be customized depending on your business. But in the next couple of slides, when we talk about how to apply and give you the email address and all that stuff, we can start that discussion offline. I have one person who wants to do 2 payments. That's fine. It could be that you want to do 4. The session starts September the 12th. And so we want you to keep that in mind when it comes to setting up the payment plans. And the sooner we can start that, the better. But the most important thing is that that we are flexible in getting your business the tools that we know this investment is going to, that return that we know this investment is going to provide to you. For those that pre-registered, for tonight, you guys already have the email address and all of that information. And so you could just simply reply to the email that you got for registration and let me know. And you could do that here from your phone instead of blurting out what you want your payment plan to be. But yes, just contact us and let us know, and we'll work with you.
Awesome.
Okay, and so what to expect? If you hadn't figured it out already, like I said, we're kind of driving through this rather quickly because we know that we value everybody's time. And one of the things I wanted to say too is, being a mom, is that we know that sometimes, your schedule may not allow you to be physically present here at the Creed building. Okay, we get that. I get that. You may have all types of, volleyball, basketball, whatever practices. And one young lady had reached out to me on Facebook, who's actually in California, that expressed interest in participating in Scale Up 2019. And so I wanted to kind of go off script a little bit just to say that we really like this online platform because it expands our scope to be able to help small business owners in where they are. So if you're not able to make it, on a Thursday, you can still log in. So your money's not lost. You know what I mean? We are going to be having homework assignments, right? Because we're talking about all these great things we're going to give to you, but that does require you to roll up your sleeves and do some work. It's not going to fall in your lap. And so that's why we are looking for businesses that have, been in operation for 3 years, right? Because we want to know that you have the commitment, not only just in paying the $650, but the commitment in surviving those initial years, right? And so if you cannot make it, we're going to have the web platform, but you are going to leave here with no excuses. Okay, no excuses whatsoever on what you're going to get with Scale Up. Okay, so I had to go off the script and do a little ranting for a little bit, but let's dive into what to expect. So as we said, you've heard us say these words. It's intentional. You're going to get results. I just explained to you how it's no excuses, right? So you're going to have the online platform, but we are going to be that action-driven support group that you need. We're the 2.0. So you're not just going to come somewhere and just get a pamphlet of information and leave, and that's it. No, we're going to actually provide you with financial tools, education, and one-on-one assistance. All right. So our cohorts meet once a week starting September the 12th, and it's going to be every Thursday for roughly 2 hours. All right. And we're going to talk about some of the takeaways, but in some of the areas is going to be on securing financing. If that's what you need, Scale Up's for you. If you're interested in how you can be in a better position to compete for private, city, or government contracts, Scale Up is for you, okay? If you're looking to reduce your tax liability, or if you need to get caught up, or if you have no idea what your tax liability is, if you have no idea what it means to be compliant on the business tax level, Scale Up is for you. Okay. Also what we're throwing in here is throughout the 8-week session, if you need, well, we know you will, but if you need that one-on-one 30-minute session with myself, with Damien, some of the other facilitators that'll be participating, then you will have access to that. So before I talked about you having a team, this is a true team, right? This is 8 weeks, and you're going to have our email addresses and a way to contact us. But this really puts you into, a leveled up environment, a scaled up environment where we're talking about it, we're being about it, and then you're in an action driven group with folks that do this all the time. Okay. Go ahead, Damien.
All right. So what to do next? You want to go ahead and apply, complete the application. We would advise you to go ahead and do that sooner than later, because the next step after that is we want to set up a discovery interview. We do realize that we have a lot of people anticipating and wanting to be a part of Scale Up, and we realize that Scale Up is not going to be for everybody. So we want to make sure that whatever those pain points you're experiencing at this point, we'll be able to help you push through those as it relates to Scale Up, because as Saliba said earlier, with the time, that's one of the most precious things we can have. And the last thing we want to have you do is come and be a part of this and not get what you was expecting. So the sooner you can go ahead and apply and complete that application, the quicker we can go ahead and get that discovery meeting. So we're not working behind the 8 ball, getting ready to kick off in the next couple weeks. And then last but not least, it takes a village, but it also takes someone who's beyond just being willing, but's actually ready to scale up. And it can be intimidating, but at the end of the day, with a great team around you and some systems and processes in place, you can do what you need to do. So again, go ahead and apply, complete that application, so we can get that discovery interview set up, so we can make sure this is the right fit for you, and then get ready to roll up your sleeve and let's get at it and let's scale up. So thank you.
Yes. And then the other part too is, when can you use those tools? So I said immediately, but it is immediately. And then also we still have one more quarter in this year. So if you really roll up your sleeves, you really come to work, you really come to, be receptive to the things that we're going to be talking about over the 8 weeks. These are things you're going to be able to put in place before the year is out. And so when your first quarter 2020 comes up, you should see some changes in your numbers. You should see some changes in the opportunities that your business, may qualify for. And that's why Scale Up 2019 is so important and such a passion of mine and of Damien's, because this is truly, what we are committed to as individuals and as business owners. And that's helping, that's putting some, pedal to the metal and really allowing our businesses here in Birmingham as well as outside of Birmingham. But if you're a small business owner, we understand where you are because we're small business owners. We've had some success in the areas that we've been in, and we're here to serve. And so we are here to ensure that that your business also sees profits, that your business also takes advantages of the opportunities that are out here for us small business owners on the grind. All right. So in this next slide, those that are on Facebook Live, this is how you can make sure that you are in the loop. This is the physical address of my office here in Birmingham, as well as a website. Of course, if you're on Facebook, you know the Facebook page. Also on LinkedIn. If you're a phone person and you have any questions and you want to call, that's the office number, 205-407-7367. And scaleupsession@gmail.com. Scaleupsession@gmail.com is going to be the email address that we're using for Scale Up. If you're watching this in the replay, by all means, you can indicate your interest for an application in the comment section, and I'll make sure that you get the application sent over to you. Everybody that's here tonight will be getting an application as soon as possible to your email so that you could go ahead and get started on that. But we're going to go ahead and end the Facebook Live to answer questions and interact with the folks here this evening. And again, if with some question or anything that we didn't cover, put it in the comments and we'll get back to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.